This is episode 8 of my Hiking the Continental Divide Trail series, where we hike from Cuba to Ghost Ranch, followed by a 50-mile hitch into Chama, New Mexico for a resupply. I start out crossing the stunning San Pedro Mountains. This leg features a snowy traverse through high-altitude terrain and the diverse landscapes leading to Ghost Ranch with its iconic red rock cliffs, rolling mesas and vibrant desert vistas. Join us as we navigate frosty trails and rugged wilderness immersed in the Southwest's breathtaking beauty. This is Cuba, New Mexico. It seems it's a city in decline, which is a bit sad to see. A lot of shops and houses closed down. I am heading up and over this mountain range. It's a 12-mile climb and it's pretty steep. As you can see behind me, I'm in the San Pedro Parks Wilderness and I'm at the Los Pinos trailhead. So I've been hiking for about just short of 3 hours out of Cuba. I've done about 12 kilometres and I've got about another 10 more to reach the top. The plan originally was to stay in Cuba another night, but with Ghost Ranch, which is the next resupply point up the road, being closed, it changed what my plan was to be. So there is a government bus that runs up and down the highway and it goes past Ghost Ranch. So my plan, and it only runs on weekdays. So today's Wednesday. Thought it's about, let me guess, about 50 miles away, 80 Ks. So that rather than trying to do two big pushes, knowing this was a big climb up here today, I thought I'll jet out of Cuba sort of just before lunch. Try and get up over this mountain today, and then I don't have to worry too much about pushing too hard for the next 2 days to get the bus. Well, that's the plan. If the bus isn't running, then we'll just have to put the finger out and see if we can catch a lift into Chama from there. Alright, I'll see you down the trail. It's back to hiking in the snow and crossing creeks and rivers again. How beautiful is this? This is a steep climb. I'm back to being post-holing through the snow, so that doesn't help either. But getting closer to the top. This is tough. Getting closer to the top. But just post-holing. See every step. Oh, some are better than others. Alright, let me stand on my knee. Oh, hard work. I need to get up and over this mountain so I can find somewhere to camp for the night and not on the snow. Well, I've made it to this peak. Problem is, my feet are soaking wet. I'm up at 10,150 feet. It's about 5 o'clock in the afternoon. I decided not to go on any further because the snow is just too deep and there's too much, and it's about another 5 miles across the top of this mountain now that we've made it up the top. And the day was beautiful, and then all of a sudden these grey clouds have rolled in and it's starting to hail. And there's a bit of thunder going on. I haven't seen any lightning. It's always a worry when you're up this high on a sort of, not on a ridge, but I am high up on a mountain. When you're up this high and a little bit exposed, it's a bit of a worry, but hopefully we'll be okay. You can see the hail's coming down a bit now. Let me have a look out there. They're only little hail. They feel like they just squashed up like little beanbag balls. They feel funny, but hopefully this storm will pass overhead and we'll be fine. I'm all hunkered down for an early night, so I hope to get a good night's rest. The plan for tomorrow is to get up early and tackle the snow while it's still frozen from the night. How's this for a winter wonderland? So it's 7:30. Snow's nice and hard this morning, so we'll try and make as much ground as we can. It's about -3 or 4, but the day's looking beautiful. With all this snow, it's been so hard trying to find a trail through those trees. But eventually, I think I've half worked it out. Just takes a lot of stopping, checking the GPS. I thought I would show you my attire for this morning in the feet department. I've got my sealskins waterproof socks on. These on my feet got soaked yesterday. And underneath my runners are this little get-up called micro spikes. They help give you extra good grip on the ice and snow. This is where it gets a little bit tricky when you're walking across the snow. You don't know, but sometimes you can be walking over little creeks underneath. And the last thing you want to do is fall through the snow and into the freezing cold water. So you just got to keep a lookout. Is this incredible or what? Sorry, I can't talk properly. It's sort of cold, but not too bad. So I'm high across the top of this mountain range. Still got a bit to get across and then hopefully descend out of this snow. I'm okay at the minute while it's reasonably hard. Sometimes I'm falling through, but so far so good. I've found a marker. So at least I know I'm roughly going in the right direction. I saw a wolf just over there on the other side near those trees before. A wolf or a coyote. It looked too big to be a coyote though. I'm heading that way, so we'll see. It's fun and games when you're out of the open and you're stuck in these trees. As you can see, there's no discernible trail anywhere. You just got to keep referring to the navigational guide every 10-20 metres. Make sure you keep heading in the right direction. Thankfully I'm down the other side of the mountain now, and the snow has disappeared, not totally, but in patches. It still lies around, but for the most part it's pretty good. So I've been in snow from late yesterday afternoon to all of today. It's about 1 o'clock, 1:30 now. It was just an incredible winter wonderland up there. What an experience. It was just me. There was one wolf. I think it was a wolf. It's too big to be a coyote, I think. That's all I saw. A couple of squirrels, not many. But just a big, wide open, snowy playground. It's hard work after the sun sort of got onto it. Made it very soft and wet. So my feet are soaking. But lots of post holing. But thankfully that's all behind me. But just an incredible experience being up there. It was amazing. Quick report on my shoes and socks. So as you can see, that shoe was soaking. Got my supposedly waterproof seal skin socks. Let's take that off and see what's like underneath. And look at that, dry as a bone. How good's that? Band-aids there because I punched a hole in the top of these things. They only lasted 2 weeks, not very good. But that's very good. So the old sealskins waterproof socks actually work. On speaking of socks, I left a pair hanging at camp last night from yesterday. I had them on hanging on a branch hoping they'd dry, and I left them there. But I've messaged Chip Crusher, who's coming a day or so behind me. Hopefully he might pick them up for me. I'm over the top and finally getting a view out into the distance. I can see some snow-capped peaks over there. Don't know whether that's still New Mexico or perhaps it's the beginning of Colorado. I'm not sure. Maybe still New Mexico. At least there's no snow out on the ground as far as I can see. That's a good thing. This is the view coming down the mountain. Starting to get a few of these. Whoops. Bit of a trip. That was trip number 797. The trip. And yes, I was saying, starting to get a few of these little grassy meadows opening up. So coming down in elevation. I think we got to a high of about just short of 10,600 feet. We're now down to about 8,500 feet, maybe a little bit below that. Look how nice this is. Sometimes I wonder, why can't all the trail be like this? So nice to walk on, beautiful trees. Probably get a bit bored with it after a while, I suppose. But it's pretty good. Sometimes I feel I'm guilty of showing you just all the bad water sources, but often you get nice ones like this out of the nice snow melting mountain streams. After I got the water, I put my soil squeeze filter on the top and I transfer, just by squeezing that through, into my clean drinking bottle. And then the last thing I do is I add this stuff called Propel. It's made by Gatorade, just an electrolyte additive that makes all water taste drinkable, even the nasty stuff. Actually, the water at the Rincon well, if I remember back, that was the worst. That still tasted like cow pond water, even after the Propel. Last thing, give it a shake, and then it's open. Down it goes. Beautiful. And one final thing, the last thing to do is then check the gut hook app where the next water source will be. That determines how much water you've got to stock up here, whether you need to bring a lot or you can get by with just a little bit for the next bit and you fill up at the next water source. This is what happens when you're post-holing in the snow, and when you sink down into the snow and underneath is a hidden branch, that's what you get. How's this for a change of scenery? I'm back on the highway briefly. This is New Mexico Highway number 96. I can't see any snow up there from here, but as you recall, there's heaps. Well, that's the mountain range I came across. I think I came from over that right hand side and then sort of trekked all the way across that ridge line. So I think I came from over that one and then went all the way up along the top of this one, which was why I was up there for so long. And then I've cut down straight across to where I am now. It's been some day. Back to the terrible looking water. This is Fuerte Spring, but if you look here, that's all that really matters. That's straight out of the spring from that pipe. Beautiful, perfect, clean water. Continuing on from yesterday's climb. No, look this way. Look how steep this hill is. Oh, it doesn't really come out on the picture. But this is a heart starter, first thing in the morning. Here's a better view of what we came across yesterday. I zoom in right between these trees. You can see no peak there. So I came up over that ridge, down up over that second one, along this way, then cut across this big valley, and then I've climbed up and over this hill in the foreground here, then down again, and then just that steep uphill from where I camped last night. How's this for trail? Like they've laid out the green carpet for me, and it's downhill. Doesn't get any better. It's a beautiful morning. Beautiful, lovely green meadow. And I'm getting to walk along a road for a little bit. Gets better. And we're entering our next new wilderness, the Chama River Canyon. Along this canyon floor, I get to enjoy a beautiful shaded walk following a meandering stream. The trail crisscrosses many times, some requiring a skip and a jump, while other times it's a scramble up high banks to the other side. Out of the sun and amongst the trees, I'm now on a beautiful morning walk. This narrow canyon soon opens up into a big wide open one as I enter farm grazing land. The canyon walls are ever present and they rise to amazing heights now wide apart. The sedimentary layers are striking in their various colours. At the Rio Chama, the CDT official route splits with the Ghost Ranch alternate. The Rio Chama is a large river that feeds into the even bigger Rio Grande. I'm taking the Ghost Ranch alternate even though the ranch is currently closed. It's been a nice walk along this canyon floor, but when I look at those canyon walls in the background, I know it's only a matter of time before I have to go up and over them. Normally you would send a resupply box to Ghost Ranch, but because of COVID they are closed. So my plan is to hike to the intersecting Highway 84 and catch either a government blue bus or hitchhike into Chama. There I will do a shop for resupplies and return to continue the 5 more days it will take to get to the New Mexico-Colorado border. At about half a mile before the Rio Chama, I make the mistake of passing up water from a spring flowing via a black pipe into a cow trough. It's not a marked source on the map and I figure I'll get water from the Rio Chama. But at the Rio Chama I realise the error of my ways, as this fast flowing river has coffee coloured water. Seeing as though I've still got a litre left, it's not a big deal. I'm sure the water is fine, but I decide I'll make do with what I have and continue on. I only have about 8 miles or 13 k's to the highway, so perhaps about 3 hours walk. This is the Rio Chama and I'm about to start the beginning of the Ghost Ranch alternate. A bit windy. I'm going to look over this side to the sun. Here is where the English got their inspiration for the Royal Albert Hall. I'm on this Ghost Ranch alternate road and it seems so busy, there's so many cars going up and down. But a lady in a little green Prius C pulls up beside me and she says to me, "Would you like a lift?" And I said, "No, I'm fine walking, thanks." She goes, "Where are you going to?" I said, "To Canada." She goes, "Oh, I'm not going that far." You'd swear that was a joke, but it was actually a true story. How's my view? Pretty crazy. This is the entrance to Ghost Ranch, which I was hoping to hike through, but it is actually closed. So I'm going to have to go back to the official CDT route when I resupply in Chama. Now I'm here waiting at the RTD Blue bus stop, hoping to get a bus which comes by in about another hour and a half to take me to Chama, so hopefully all that works. Here I am getting my first hitch into town, heading into Chama. Say good to some people. Chama is a nice little town close to the border with Colorado, sitting at about 8,000 feet. There's quite a lot of snow on the peaks surrounding the town. After organising the next week's food, it is time to start working out the route. It's about 90 miles from where I left the highway to the border, and the worrying thing is that most of it's up very high. It probably averages over 10,000 feet in elevation. Knowing what I experienced over the San Pedro range at these heights, I figure I need to reassess my gear. I'll give a call to Webbuster for some advice, and I'll wait until Chip Crusher arrives to get his thoughts too. Chip Crusher turns up 2 days later, and after talking to him and Webbuster, it's decided that snowshoes are a must. Farther on into Colorado, I'll need an ice axe, so that's ordered as well. The problem is we've got to Colorado far too early in the season. They say you shouldn't get to Colorado until at least the middle of June, or better off still July, but we're here in late April. Webbuster very kindly offers to come and pick us up and for a place to stay while we wait for the snow to melt. I'm really undecided about what to do and eagerly checking the snow melt data to see if that will help me make a decision. There's a small group of hikers coming up behind us, including Sam Carroll, Ken Dingley and Alberto Flores. We figure they're about 2 weeks behind us, so we could wait for them to catch up and head up the trail together, as there's safety in numbers. The next few days are just spent resting at the motel while waiting for the snow gear to arrive. I'm staying at Cumbre Suites, and Terry, the owner, is a wonderful host. She even picked up my mail from the post office. I think I'm deserving of the Customer of the Month award at Subway, as I'm such a regular. Fina's Diner gets a very high rating as well. It's drive-through only at this time, but you just phone ahead and walk up to the little window to collect. Every day while waiting for my gear to arrive, I can see that the snow is receding on the peaks, so hopefully we'll be back out there soon with more updates.